Hey, Arcturus here. Today, we're looking at boarding the Tantive 4. This is LEGO Star Wars set 75387. It comes with 502 pieces and 6 minifigures. Well, 7, but 6 for this set. With Darth Vader, 2 Stormtroopers, Captain Antilles, and 2 Rebel Fleet Troopers, as well as the exclusive minifigure of ARC Trooper 5s. This set is a diorama style set with some play features to show the boarding of the Tantive 4 as from the very opening of episode 4. So here we have the diorama section. These levers control some of the play features. And so have the other view here. This also has an additional feature, which can be controlled by that lever there, or there's a more hidden one here for that back door. It pulls the door out and gives that red glow like Darth Vader has just cut his way through, which is a nice little feature. It's a little easier to control with this lever here, but it can also be controlled by this lever here. There are several stickers in this set. These vents and ventilator controls or electronic vent boxes are all stickers. You can tell that some of these were a little difficult for me to get on. Well, actually, in the camera, they're not as lopsided as they appear in person. I don't know why the angled pieces here were a little difficult to get the stickers on. Surprisingly enough, the only non-sticker printed piece in the set is actually the door. And I'll show a more close-up version, more close-up look at that in a moment. But for the play features, it's mostly just dislodging the figures. So, for instance, we have this one, and it launches it like they've been blown away with an explosion from the boarding. And then the other goes the opposite direction. And you also have them for the Stormtroopers as well. And then I just placed Captain Antilles on there. And then, of course, there's Darth Vader. And now with a bit more clear look at that door, it's a nice single panel piece. I'm really surprised it wasn't a sticker, but it was a nice printed piece. So I suspect it's used elsewhere in other sets or will be in the future. I think it might have come from, I could have sworn there was a UCS Tantive 4, but I don't think it would have had an interior. So it may not have been used there. So I wonder what other set that might have come from. If you happen to know what other sets use this same printed piece here at the back, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd be interested in hearing more. So the build is fairly nice. A few more studs on the base plate than I would like. I'd like a bit more tiling off of it personally, but it does give plenty of studs for play features. So that is, an added benefit. Some additional white tiles up here, I think, would be all it really needs. But it is, there's nothing wrong with it as it is, I think. I think it's still an excellent diorama piece. Lots of nice, clean walls for this. Kept as a diorama, less studs would be good, but as a playset, the studs are nice, and the only real tiling off it needs is up here on the top. I think that would just really round it out a little bit more. It looks like there's room for it, just not included. And I did check that I didn't lose any pieces, but I did not. So that is how it's supposed to be. It'd just be a little nicer, I think, if it went in. And then a closer look at the more burned section here. You can see a little more clearly here with the back of this wall here. Just some nice orange, red, and translucent black pieces to really give that kind of burned doorway look, like somebody cut their way through. A closer look at the minifigures. We, of course, have some nice Stormtroopers. No helmet holes on these, as they are not clone troopers. And some nice printing here on the front and back. Very nice Stormtroopers. Some nice printing, of course, on the helmets. Now, both of these are the same Stormtrooper, but some very nice printing, even with some very fine white lines here on this front part of the mask where the mouth would be, and even on this bridge here. A very nice You do get 2 different heads with one. You get this head, both of which have single face printings, and then you also get this head as well, and 2 blasters with those. For the Rebel Troopers, you have 2 identical heads. Some nice printing here on the back in front of the trooper. Gives me kind of more of a Han Solo look, I think, but I think it's also reasonably accurate to the film, so not terrible. And then, of course, those helmets there as well, which for most things. And they do have these nice silver blasters instead of the black blasters that the stormtroopers get. And the other one is the exact same. Then we have Captain Antilles, who also has dual face printing, so a more worried look and then a more stoic look. Very nice printing here on the front of the minifigure. The belt buckle is nice shiny or light reflective paint. I don't know how well it comes through there on the camera. And he also has a patch here that's the same way with some nice blue dots, a few pouches printed on there, and then just a standard jacket back, also with a silver blaster. Next up, we have, of course, Darth Vader with his red lightsaber. Pretty standard red lightsaber. Nice Darth Vader head. I think the printing on this figure looks really good to me. I think the printing on this figure is really good. Some nice arm printing as well with the silver. Although, again, I don't know how well it's coming through on the camera. But then some very nice printing with the red and green lights for his torso. And then, of course, some printing on the back as well, although most of the time it will be covered by the cape. The head also has some printing on the back, although it's just scars for the scarred Darth Vader head. And he, of course, has the iconic Darth Vader helmet, which goes together very nicely. No gaps between where the minifigure head shines through, which I think is an excellent addition to these sets. Set that to the side. Then we have the 25th anniversary figure of ARC Trooper 5's. Oops, his pauldron thing has shifted there. Comes with a nice little plaque, just 3 little pieces with the printed 25 years of Lego Star Wars. So I'll move him so you can see that a little bit better with a nice little R2-D2 shining a picture of a brick. He does come as a clone trooper. He does have the helmet holes, which I know some people do not like, but he does come with both visors and this helmet antenna. Some nice detail here on the minifigure. There's some red dots on the top of the helmet, which do not seem to be coming through on the camera, but are a nice little attention to detail there. I know some of these figures are not as detailed as some or accurate as some would like, but I think this is a excellent little figure, especially for a 25 years of Lego Star Wars anniversary celebration figure. It's quite nice. 2 different style blasters, very square blasters. Take those out real quick. Show off more of the figure. Some very nice detailing here on the chest. Nice detailing printed on the arms as well, even going down to the feet as well. And then, of course, there's a backpack, which I will have to take the head off for. So we'll take a look at his head next. A nice single-sided face print for Clone Trooper 5s, or ARC Trooper 5s, but some nice detail there on the front with the beard and mustache and the head scars or surgery marks. He also comes with a very small cloth set of pauldrons. I almost lost that. Actually, it's in the same box as the Darth Vader cape, but very small, so I almost dropped it on the floor of my room and lost it entirely, so I'm glad that didn't happen. And then, of course, we have some back printing here, though it's normally covered by the backpack, which is the usual way of the assembly for this. You have a nice little display stand for the ARC Trooper 5's exclusive minifigure. Overall, I think the set was a fun build, very similar to the Death Trooper diorama I did previously. And I think it's a good little diorama. Not too big on the table, A few more stickers than I'd like. Some of those stickers were difficult to put on, but overall, I think it really does help with the aesthetic here. And some of these I think should be printed pieces, like these triangular vents. I can understand this top one not being, but I guess maybe they wouldn't want them in white. They'd probably want them in like dark gray for Imperial ships, so maybe that's why. It would be cool to get a few more of these and build like a really big Tantive 4 ship interior. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I'll catch you next time.